Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another live episode of Coffee and Collaborations. I'm your host, Kimberly Winborn, and I'm excited to be here. Man, I have an amazing guest, Jennifer Faulk with Date Night by Design. I'm going to have her introduce herself in just a moment. How are you all doing today? How are you doing this morning when you come on? If you can let us know, how are you doing this morning? Did you have a good weekend? Where you're watching from? This is a new week, new opportunities. And I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to share this week, start this week off with you. Guys, I'm loving the live episodes. I'm getting really good feedback. If you've had a chance to check out the live shows, let me know your thoughts. It's been fun. I've been having some amazing guests this season. Last week we had the author's midwife. So for those of you who want to write a book, perfect to go back and listen to that. We've had the live demos with Chef Athena of Divine Goddess Health and Wellness. We had Jason T. Mahoney, but then also with Danya Perry. Just so many great guests between the live show and the regular show. And today is no different. Today is no different. So I want to shout out before I move forward. I want to shout out some of the sponsors, Elton Benjamin of Industry Image. And you guys, today is actually Elton's birthday. So if you are connected with Elton Benjamin or have heard of Industry Image, if you're looking, even if not, and you're looking for a graphic designer, somebody who is at the next level, he is amazing. He does all of the coffee and collaborations, branding. He did the logo. He also created this banner, this StreamYard banner that you see around me for the Ultimate Fan Podcast. He's done everything you've seen through from Love and Flow TV, the Ultimate Fan Podcast, TGIFF, which is Al's show, the older flyer. He does all of that and more. So happy birthday to our sponsor of Coffee and Collaborations Media, Industry Image, founder, CEO, owner Elton Benjamin. We love him. And so shout out to Elton. Another sponsor that we have is Blackology Coffee. And we have a partnership with them. Anybody that loves coffee, if you love coffee and you would like to support a Black-owned business that creates coffee, you can go to blackologycoffee.com. Not only that, you can save money by supporting this Black business by using our code Collaboration Culture. And so you would just put Collaboration Culture in all caps and go buy your coffee at Blackology Coffee. So I'm going to put a couple of those things in the comments. Right now, I'm going to introduce our special guest, Jennifer Faulk with Date Night by Design. Good morning, Jennifer. Let me unmute.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Good morning, Jennifer.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So this is your first time on. Although we've been connected for quite some time, I want Jennifer to tell you all about Date Night by Design.
Okay. Yes, Date Night by Design. Go back a second. I am the owner of Date Night by Design. And Date Night by Design, I created this company based off on a mindful observation. And that observation was helping couples find time to spend with each other, to be intentional quality time that they're able to spend with each other, because it's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day. And as couples, that's what we do. We get caught up in the day-to-day work schedules and things like that. And sometimes we don't get a chance to spend just that good quality time with our partners, our spouse. And so I created the company to help couples do that. And with doing that, I assist to plan date nights, whether it be something really small, or whether it be a date night box or basket, or whether it be a night out on a town or a vacation. Also, I do date night events, small couple, well, yeah, intimate couple events, um, as well as we're growing a community, the Date Night by Design community, which would be our couples and conversations, which you can find on Facebook. So it's a whole component of services and just being able to be there for couples and see and help assist their love and connection.
I love it. Let me bring you on back. Okay. So if you see scrolling across the bottom, you should see Jennifer's information. You can go to right now. If you have another device, you can go and follow her on all social media, check out the website and all of that. So we'll keep that scrolling throughout the show so people can tune in and see what you got going on. So tell us, you said you create date nights for couples. Tell us a how it started and where you are now, and what's something that really stands out for you that you've done for a couple that you want to share.
Okay, how it's like I said, how it started was some good friends of mine that I totally and completely respect and look up to, and just looking at how they made time, how they made and make time for each other, and then just taking that observation and fast forwarding it into, wow, okay, do other couples do that?
Yeah.
So, and noticing that that wasn't a lot. You had some couples that do, some couples that don't. I was able to kind of go from there, and it started really kind of small with a date night, just doing a date night movie box basket for a couple.
Yeah.
And so I put that together and they were amazed. It's like the old school movie. I think it was like Love Jones. Then you got the theater popcorn and candy and a nice bottle of wine.
Yeah.
And that was something they could do right in house. And they loved it. They absolutely loved it. And then most recently, I had a couple that I did an anniversary plan for. So that was superly exciting because the husband reached out to me. And it's always exciting when the husband reaches out because it's like, okay, what do I do? And it's that for me is to make him look good. So that was really exciting. So I got to plan the whole weekend for them. We did I was able to facilitate getting hotel, nice suite at a hotel, fabulous dinner downtown at one of the 5-star restaurants, also car service. Also went in to set up their hotel suite with nice ambiance and romance and things to reflect their anniversary. And it was very well received. It was exciting for them. They loved it. Got some great reviews off that. And that's the part I love about it. Just being able to see the feedback and the smiles and happiness from the couples once they're able to enjoy it again, whether it be the boxes, baskets, actual date night plan, or whether you're coming to one of my events, just seeing couples enjoy themselves.
Now, you spoke on the couples enjoying themselves, anniversaries, different things like that, and that one that really stood out to you. Would you say that you are a romantic person in your relationship?
I do try to be a romantic person. I call it, I would say my relationship is I go to the lab. That's where I go to the lab and test some. I am able to test some things because this is a joke. As you know, I joke with my friends. I say, "Oh, this is my pink," because I don't get to be pink often. This is my pink. This is my storybook moment, out of the romance novels. And if people even still read those, I do. But anyway,
yeah,
this is my moment to get to create that for a couple and get to see them light up for however long they can enjoy it.
Yeah. So what are you finding that some of the feedback? I think it's an echo on your end, so I'm gonna mute you. So what are you finding as far as couples when you say you kind of make the husband the hero or what have you? What are you finding as far as the relationships? Do you get a chance to follow up with the couple, and maybe there's been a couple that has used this moment to kind of reignite back to your mission, the fire in their marriage? What sort of feedback are you getting from these couples after these date nights? Is it actually reigniting the flame?
Yes. For a lot of the couples, it is, and for some of the couples, it's like they have date night, but it was
Hmm.
like few and far between. But this kind of brings it top of mind now. It's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, we do it, but it was very sporadic. Whereas now it's top of mind,
Yeah.
so it's very back to the forefront because it does have to have a level. I feel like it does have to have a level of importance to have that space, whether you're calling date night or whether you're just calling it, we're just gonna just sit and look into each other's eyes and talk about just nothing.
Yeah. 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 So, what is your inspiration? Did you have parents, people around you? What have you? What was it that made you, do you think, really love sharing those experiences with people, helping people highlight their relationships?
I would say it was people around me. Now, keep in mind, I do have a great model. My parents have been married for 70 plus years, so that's my model of longevity when it comes to marriage and relationships. And so they were an inspiration from a perspective. Also having, a good good friends and family bases. Like I said, that one particular couple comes to mind that just watching them, and they were truly an inspiration for this because they're almost, I think, 20 plus years in the marriage game, and they still carve out that time to be intentional with each other, no matter it being something small like grabbing a cocktail or going on a car ride, or whether it be they're packing up and going on a trip. But regardless, they're making that time. So I have the benefit of seeing them, seeing other couples around me doing the same thing. So that's truly been a motivation and an inspiration for me.
So tell us about the couples in conversations, as I know that was something that was launched during the pandemic, right?
Yes, couples and conversations. So as we all know, in the entrepreneur business community, we had to all do that pivot on something. And so when COVID came through, it was just like, oh, okay, how am I going to do this? How I can't do events, and you have to be really cautious as to if you for any type of planning you wanted to do. So we did what a lot of companies did, whether small or corporate. We went virtual. So with going virtual, we were able to take a select group of couples, what I call my ambassador couples, and we took it to Facebook Live with the help of an awesome person who is here with me now, Ms. Winborn. And we took it live to Facebook, and I think our initial showing or viewing was, how are you faring during the pandemic? And it was great. We had some great conversations. The couples were able to talk about how they were faring during the pandemic, being, you know in the house with each other. Are you at each other's throats? Are you seeing this person differently, and things like that. And like I said, with my ambassador couples, they really enjoyed it. They were very engaged. After a while, you forgot the camera was there, because it was just like we were sitting around the kitchen table, or on my in my living room or whatever. As I say, not getting any copyrighted pictures. It was my own gray table talk.
Yes, it was great. I think it was a lot of fun, a great feedback.
Oh,
Are do you
definitely.
do you plan on having some other couples and conversations coming up? And what is, if somebody wants to be a part of couples and conversations, how do they become a part of that?
They again that they would reach out to me through via social media, on Facebook or Instagram. They send me a DM. We would go through some questions and things, and we meet before the ambassador group, and go from there. As to yes, I would love to bring back or do some more couples and conversations. And now that we're a little post COVID or we got some restrictions lifted, maybe even doing a live version of it where we actually can all be in the same room and have a conversation, a comfortable conversation with the couples.
Yeah. Now, you did start a group on Facebook. Is that open for anybody to join, or is it people who've just attended your event previously, the couples and conversations that was in ambassador couples, or is it for everyone?
It was initially for the ambassador couples, but we're open to the group. There are some questions you will answer to, kind of like as say
Hmm.
qualifiers for the group. But yes, it is open for
Awesome.
couples to join because that's the way we want to build our date night by design community.
Awesome. So, are you having regular couples conversations in that group, or just the live events?
With that group, we'll throw out something now. I do have to transparency. I do have to get better with my consistency and posting with that group, but we do. That's a place where I want couples to be able to have that space to have conversations. Um, post their date nights when they go out, if you want to post some pics and things like that. And but that's a very very intentional one to be with having it very community based where they can have a safe space and can have the camaraderie of other couples.
Yeah, and sort of glean from each other, right? I think it's
Absolutely.
something for those who are joining us. Good morning. I'm here with Jennifer Faulk with Date Night by Design. She is the owner, and we're just talking about some of the things that have happened through Date Night by Design. Some of the couples who have benefited from her services, and next, I would like to talk about some of the things that you have talked about when you were saying you've done events. So what about some of the events that you've done that really stand out? What are have those events been like for the couples? What would a date night by design event that you've pre-COVID, what did they experience?
Just that a great experience, that experience being the whole aspect of you had a great venue, you had chef prepared meal, you had live entertainment, and they were able to come out that evening, get dressed up, come out, enjoy each other. You're having a great meal, you dinner, you're dancing, and again, you're able to mix and mingle with other couples, and that leads back or that runs parallel back into that community piece
Yeah.
of being able to have the camaraderie with the other couples. But yeah, it was a great experience. It was like their own. It's okay, anybody can go to a restaurant and have dinner, but with that particular event, that was their own almost semi-private event. And I say semi-private because you had other couples there, but it was like we created that night ambiance, which was really great between the like I said, the vocalists and the chef and just the ambiance and the atmosphere. They loved it.
Yeah. And so you said it's been on, let me all right, so it's been on pause since COVID. You went to the couples and conversations, and you have an event coming up. And so, can you share some of the details for those couples who are interested in attending this event? First, before you share about that, what are some of the challenges that you experienced as a result of COVID, if there were any, with Date Night by Design? I know you said you pivoted and you started doing couples and conversations, but what are some of the things that you really felt like, okay, I got to keep my audience engaged, which is why I'm starting couples and conversations, and some of the things that you had to adjust that you experienced?
I think the big adjustment for me, because I am a corporate professional also, this was a time during COVID to allow me to, and you'll notice I'm using these words from pretty much for me, mindful and intentional. This allowed me, I didn't so much as have any challenges, but this allowed me to be ask myself some questions on what I wanted this business to continue to grow and look like.
Yeah.
This allowed me to have some downtime, but at the same time, uptime in a sense of being able to really pour into the business like I want to, and to be able to have it grow and to flourish for couples and for the date night by design community. So I can't say I really had any challenges, but it just brought some things to the forefront for me that I wanted to pour into the business.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you just learn to pivot with like you mentioned before, the couples and conversations was launched. You had a few of those, and
Hmm.
couples were able to connect through that. And I love the community aspect of Date Night by Design, that you want couples to connect and so that they can glean from each other. The more experienced couple can be able to share nuggets of wisdom with the less experienced couple, and be able to grow in their relationship. And I think that's so cool. I've being at some of the events and seeing the evolution of
Yeah,
the, like, maybe somebody will walk in their tents, but by the middle of the evening, they're smiling, they're kind of leaning into each other.
yeah,
I love some of the moments that I was able to experience being there at the events with, with those couples live. And so let's talk about the upcoming event. Let's share a little bit about the upcoming event. One of the things I want to share, so I don't forget, any couple that joins that is watching, on behalf of Coffee and Collaborations, if you say, well, I'm watching, if you go, you follow Coffee and Collaborations on social media platforms, but also follow Date Night by Design, which right there, all social media at Date Night by Design, very easy. Then you can qualify to get a signature candle, soy-based candle, a signature candle from Coffee and Collaborations. So make sure you let us know that you're here, you're a couple, shout out your husband or your wife's name, and then go and follow us on social media at Coffee and Collaborations, and them at Date Night by Design, and then just come on back here and say done, and then we'll check it out, we'll do our research and get that to you. Okay, so it's a signature candle by Coffee and Collaborations Media. It is an amazing scent, and I'm going to shout out Mind Body and Scents. That's a candle business in the area. I've been using that company for about 4 years, 3 or 4 years, for all of my candles. And so that is who we want to pour back into Date Night by Design. We want to shout her out and continue to support her company. So we, Coffee and Collaborations, are going to do that so that she can get our network's love. All right, so tell us about this event that we have coming up.
yes. The upcoming event, the Couples Jazz Brunch, that is coming up on July 25th. It's going to be at the West Room Raleigh. Starts at 12 to 3, and it is going to be amazing. It is the first event I will be hosting post COVID. However, we're still going to be mindful with being cautious with the restrictions and everything. But I think it's going to be amazing. We're going to have an amazing artist, amazing menu. From Chef Carmen with Full Street Wings, amazing mixology with Miss Daisha Banner with A Glass Above. And like I said, our artist Marcel Anderson. So come on out, get your tickets, couples, come on out. This is going to be amazing. It's a jazz brunch. It's a good time space. You can come out, get your brunch attire, enjoy a good afternoon, and still get home in time to start. And hopefully this will be that good start to the week for you and your loved one.
Absolutely. So I have, good morning, Mona. Oh, Darnell and Ramona Grady are checking in that they've gone to follow Coffee and Collaborations on social media platforms, as well as Date Night by Design. So they're checking in. All right. They qualified to receive that candle from Coffee and Collaborations Media. So Awesome. And we'll see if any other couples might end up having to be a raffle. Right now, you're in the lead. You're in the lead. So top of the list. Love that. So yes, we have the flyer up here. Special guest Marcel Anderson. It's going to be at the West Room, as Jennifer said. So do you still have tickets available, Jennifer?
Yes, tickets are still available. You can get your tickets at Eventbrite, and you'll find them under Couples Jazz Brunch.
Awesome. Couples Jazz Brunch.eventbrite.com. But if you go to Date Night by Design and you're following them, you'll see that. You'll see the event. So it'll make it a little bit easier for you. So, how in the world did you meet these people? Let's talk a bit about networking for a second and how that plays a big role in your
Huge.
business. How are you meeting some of the people? How have you been able to network with some of your local business owners? And is that significant to your business to be able to partner and work with local business owners?
Absolutely. Collaboration is everything, especially being a small business owner, entrepreneur, getting out there. Collaboration is huge. For me, networking, being able to find people that it's just been that networking and collaboration through groups such as Triangle Entrepreneur Leadership. They've been valuable. Um, design evolution, they've been valuable. And just creating good partnerships, and then on knowing people by knowing other people. Again, the networking piece, that's how I was able to have conversations with Patrice at the West Room, and from Patrice at the West Room got a chance to get to know Chef Carmen with Full Street Wings, and from there I got to get to know Daisha with A Glass Above. So it's that continuum of networking and collaboration. And I don't think for me, and as I can say boldly, that I don't think you can make too many moves without that as a business, because uh, you want to be in collaboration. You want your business out there. So you want people to be able to have you top of mind as well when it comes to certain things, like, oh, I need to plan a date night. Oh, you need to call Jennifer over at Date Night by Design. So it's interchangeable.
Yeah.
So
Now, is that a goal for you to kind of be the premier company for the Triangle for people to check in for date nights? Is it is that a goal for you, or is there more that maybe we could support?
I would say, hey, I received that as a goal. Definitely, I would love. I would love to be the premier person, or the expert in the whole date night planning, because date night is a thing. It's a thing. It didn't necessarily start with me, but it is a word that is in our vernacular now. It's in our communities. It's in our social medias. It's out there. But for my portion of it, and how I would like to grab on and hold on to it, is again being able to be, yes, that premier person for the Triangle and beyond, whether it be through a virtual formats or the couples events, or again planning for a couple one-on-one, or in even at some point being able to move into a merchandise component as well, because I think it's something that is, I think for couples, date night is needed. And
Yeah.
it's not about to necessarily spend a ton of money, or oh goodness, what are we going to do. It's just about being mindful and intentional about quality time that you can spend with that person. Because if you think
Yeah.
back before you got married and did all, that's all you were doing. Y'all were talking and chit chatting and getting to know each other, and that's stuff you want to keep going on through the relationship. So you're not looking at a stranger, or wondering, having some thoughts or
Mhm.
doubts. It's just, I think if you can keep the date night or the quality time component going, is very important.
So, how do you think that people manage that when they have children? For those that are really struggling with date nights and it's detrimental to their marriage, to their relationship, how do you advise that they work around their lives in order to get that time in?
Um, that understandably that can be tough. When you do have children and trying to manage schedules and things like that, sometimes you have to incorporate things such as, we're going to do a date night in house, and that may be required putting the little ones to bed a little early and
Hmm.
doing something in house so you don't have to worry about necessarily getting out and things and moving pieces of a all the moving pieces of a date night outside of the home. So you could do something in house, maybe put them to bed a little early. Um, if if you do have a trusted sitter, um, being able to plan that time with having a sitter or someone you trust to, look out for them for maybe like an hour or two, so you can grab some time with each other, things like that. A lot of it, the big piece of it is planning.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and being able to say, okay, these are the pieces that we need to put into place in order to make this work.
Yeah. Yeah, but I love what you said about it definitely being a priority. And then you were talking about having those date night baskets early on, and I guess some people still get those. So if they put the kids to bed, then they can pull out that basket and be able to run through that basket, go through the components of that, and have their date night in home. Now,
Absolutely.
are you able to create like private chef experiences, like the whole nine, massage, just like a whole setup within someone's home? I remember you were talking about some date nights before that you had done for people. So let's talk for somebody who's really struggling with trying to get out of the house for date nights. What are some of the things? So first of all, guys, we want you to go to the one on July 25th if you can. So I put information right there for those who are are interested. Go to couplesjazzbrunch.eventbrite.com and you can check that out. But for those who are just like, I'm really truly having a hard time getting out, getting away from the kids, and I really see that there's a detriment to that in my marriage. What can they get through your services in home?
In home, everything you just named. Through my collaborative partnerships and the networking piece that I'm able to do, I
Hmm.
know some great chefs that would be able to create that in-home experience, that in-home ambiance. Massage therapists that could also do likewise, and it would just be about, we could bring the outside portions of the outside world to them
Yeah.
in their home. So again, they don't have to worry about going outside or going out. We can recreate. And the thing is, it's customized to them,
Yeah.
customized to them and their budget. So if you tell me, you call me, you tell me you want to be at home, and I do my assessment, or my discovery, try to figure out what you got going on and go through some questions, then I can set up the necessary components from there to give you
Yeah.
a great date night in your home and still have some great atmosphere and great ambiance.
I think we lost her for just a second. You're back. Go ahead. You said
Okay.
I could set up the necessary components from there to
To create a great date night in home.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you, even though you can't get out, you can still have a great date night in your house or at your home.
Yeah. So how are you coming up with some of these ideas? Because I know one of the things to your date nights is that you try to find locations that people haven't heard of or experienced before so that they can have a unique date night customized to their particular assessment that you've come up with, and,
Yeah.
to their particular style and all of that. So how are you discovering these places? Because all the time people are like, oh, there's nothing in Raleigh, there's nothing. I don't know why they say that because it's so much. But anyway,
It
how
really
are you
is.
finding all of these unique spaces for couples without telling us your secret sauce?
You know, just kind of getting out there. Sometimes it's it's a Google. Sometimes it's me and my husband, going and
Yeah.
getting out there and experiencing it. Sometimes it's me just kind of no, I driving past somewhere and be like, oh, okay, that's an idea.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes it's boots on the ground, and sometimes it's just I'll have a thought and be like, oh, okay, if I think about it, let me see how much I can put into this to make this a date night.
Yeah. Yeah, now you just mentioned your husband. So is he involved in the business? Of course, I know, but other couples may want to know, is he involved in the business? I know you started it before you were married. So how is it now? Is he involved in the business, or would you say you're still primarily the main person that's doing the thing, doing everything?
I'm still primarily the main person that's doing it. But he is super supportive, super supportive. And I am able to have conversations and talk things through with him, and try things out, and go places and do things. So, but he is super supportive. I told someone the other day, he is one of my best marketers. He's the marketing department. If I had to, offer him a role, he's the marketing department.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sometimes people don't necessarily have that in their marriage where their partner has a business and they're supportive in the way that that person needs, like the marketing and stuff. Sometimes they just support them in other ways, which is great. But you're saying that he's like kind of the mouthpiece out there talking about date night by design and sharing it with others. And I think a lot of people are surprised to finally see the face behind date night by design because you remain behind the scenes a lot. So do you feel like
Yes.
this is your time to come out from behind the scenes? And if so, what are you looking forward to?
Yes, you're right. For so long, I have been the wizard behind the curtain and have comfortably been there.
Mhm.
Because for me, it wasn't about at that point in time, it wasn't about the notoriety for me. It
Mhm.
was about providing a great service for the couples. But now I have realized, again, with taking this time with COVID and everything, to do some assessment and how I want the business to transition. I realize some people want to be able to put a face, be able
Yeah.
to put a face with the business. They want the relatability. They want to know, oh, okay, well, what does she do for date night? If she's date night by design, what does she do? What does she look like? What are her, maybe what do her date nights consist of? I don't know. So for me, it was getting out of the comfort zone of being behind the curtains, and so it's been a transition. Like this podcast for me is like I'm completely out of my comfort zone. So, but hopefully articulating as best as I can, and whatnot. So
Yeah.
it's been quite a step, but I know as a business owner and as an entrepreneur, that's one of the requirements. You have to move out of your own way.
Yeah.
And this, for me, this component right here of putting a face with the business, and getting out there, that is me getting out of my way to really amplify the service and accountability, and things for myself as well as the business.
So we talked earlier about couples in conversation, and we've been talking about community. For a couple that's looking for a community, that's looking for another group of couples to be able to hang out with, as we talked about, learn from, talk through some of the challenges of marriage, be vulnerable, because you mentioned that these are spaces where you can be safe and you can be vulnerable. How do they join your community? I just want to bring that up one more time for those
Okay.
who are just joining. How do they join your community? Can they join couples in conversations and start conversations, or is it they have to wait for conversations to start? Like, what is the sort of flow that you want to create for your community, and how do they join?
They can join couples in conversations via Facebook. And there are some select questions. I can't remember them right now.
Yeah.
Forgive me. But they can join couples in conversations through Facebook. And once they're there, they can announce themselves, say hello to the community, start a conversation, throw something out there. I do ask that you try to, remain mindful and respectful of others. But other than that, yeah, jump in, start a conversation, get people talking within the group. It's just, I think the key thing for me is everybody is comfortable in having a conversation, and respectful.
Now, is this a private group? So do the conversations remain private that nobody can share them outside of the group, or is it public?
This is a private group, and that this is definitely a private group on Facebook. Again, couples and conversations, and the conversations are within the group. We will go out there because, again, transparency. I do need to go out there and kind of filter through and make it a little bit more structured, because again, we put it out there to, again, have a little space for ourselves. But now that
Mhm.
we're beginning to grow and blossom, we'll probably go out there and pull some structure together on it as well.
Okay, so couples in conversation is a community where couples who are looking to engage with other couples in conversation can go and join. So go check it out. If you guys have any questions, like you can't find it, I'm sure you could DM Date Night by Design. I could connect you to it, just whatever you would like. If you would like to be a part of the conversations with other couples in that community, then Jennifer is saying that you could join and you could participate in conversations, which I think is really cool. Like we were talking about couples just being able to learn from each other, and you don't know what you don't know. And so sitting across the table from somebody who can enlighten you, one of the things that I do love about connection and community is you have an opportunity to learn something and have your eyes open to something new ideas, new and new initiatives, new fire in your
Absolutely.
relationship from ideas from others, even new perspective, like counseling, for instance. A lot of times men and or women don't want to do counseling in relationships, but talking with other couples is like a step towards that, and then finding out how they've grown or whatever. Then
Absolutely.
a couple may say, you know what, I want to do more in my relationship in order to grow and move further. Is there any situation, any story of a couple, or any, you don't have to say their names, but anything that really stands out for you that you've been able to see an evolution in a couple's relationship as a result of being a part of the Date Night by Design events, whether virtual or in person?
Absolutely. I think for me overall, with whether I'm in the planning phase with a couple, or an event space, or with couples and conversations, it just me myself, I'm able to take away nuggets,
Yeah.
take away nuggets of information, because what I have found is you don't want your relationship, or you shouldn't want your relationship to be like anyone else's, because it's about the two individuals in the relationship. Therefore, your relationship is individually yours.
Yeah.
So, but to be able to see other couples and go have gone through maybe a situation, and we're able to come out on the other side, and maybe you're in the midst of this, maybe you and your relationship are in the midst of the storm now, be like, oh well, they came through, so maybe that's a glimmer of hope for us. And not being like that particular couple, but being able to get techniques or something they may have done, that they could say, you know what, this worked for us, I don't know if it'll work for you, but we can advise from this standpoint. So those are things that you want to take away, even with couples and conversations, being that it was just that it was a virtually relaxed conversations.
Mm-hmm.
All of us at the end of the night were able to walk away and be like, oh wow, I'm enlightened by something, whether it being enlightened on how we handle our finances as a couple, or are there roles in a relationship, are there traditional marriage roles? Oh, as the husband I'm going to do this, or as the wife so having those types of conversations and getting the perspective and knowing, oh, okay, well, it is okay for me to feel this way, or for us to feel this way, or it is okay for us to buck tradition,
Yeah.
that this is us. This is our marriage. We gonna do this the way we want to do it and feel good about it. And it's not that you're, and let me say this disclaimer, it's not that you're looking for validation either. It's just that you're looking, or you're hoping to gain just tools for the toolbox as you go
Mhm.
through your relationship.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
we all know it's up and down, ebbs and flows.
Yeah. You're consistently learning. I mean,
Absolutely.
in any relationship, it's a journey. So you're
And it's
consistently
I'm
learning.
glad I'm glad you said that, because that's something that I gleaned from my parents' marriage. That's something my mom had said some time ago. She was like, and they're, keep in mind, they're 70 some years in, but she was like, you're still learning this person. She
Yeah.
was like, even with us at seven, where we are in marriage, I'm still learning things about him, and he's still learning things about me, because as a individual, you change.
Yeah. Absolutely. And we have to leave room for that too. We have to leave room for that. For those who are watching, if you know of a couple that should connect with Date Night by Design, please tag them right now or later. If you know of a couple that should connect with Date Night by Design, please tag them. One more time, I'm going to put the social media and website information across the bottom. So you should see that. And so you could go look them up. As I mentioned before, for a couple who is interested in going to following Date Night by Design, interested in winning a candle sponsored by Coffee and Collaborations in support of Date Night by Design, then what I would like for you to do, because she has this amazing event coming up, and because we love couples, right? What I want you to do is say that after you go to her pages on social media and you like all of them, so that's Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, at Date Night by Design, then also Coffee and Collaborations, that's at Coffee and Collaborations on all social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and then YouTube, you can subscribe. Then come back and say done, and who you are. Like earlier, we had Darnell and we had the Grady's to do that. And so then you come back and then say done, or we did it, or what have you. And I have a candle that is a soy-based candle, very wonderful scent, that I will send to you on behalf of Coffee and Collaborations in support of Date Night by Design and all of the things that they're doing. We love supporting small business owners. One of the reasons why I have this platform, or I started these different platforms, Visionary Network Circle, all the different things, is because I wanted to support entrepreneurs, partner with Triangle Entrepreneur Leadership, because we want to support entrepreneurs where they are and help them to grow. And getting media access, getting podcast experience, all of those things help them to grow. So I'm excited to support that by participating in growing this community. And I want to share one more time as we wrap up. All right, let's see. We got to love the idea of gaining tools for the tools box. We are consistently learning to intentionally spend quality time with each other. This is one of the couples, the wife of one of the
Yes,
couples who's
yes,
participated.
yes. Love her.
Yes, so I was going to say, as we wrap up, I wanted to bring up the information once again for those who are interested in going to the couples jazz brunch coming up on July the 25th. So if you want to participate in the couples jazz brunch on July 25th, Jennifer has created a wonderful night out for the couples. A wonderful, not night, a wonderful brunch for the couples. And so I'm going to pull the flyer up one more time. All right. So for those who are interested, oops, sorry, y'all. I hit the wrong thing. There it is. Okay. For those who are interested, the Love Lounge Couples Jazz Brunch. So she's creating a Love Lounge exclusive date night by design event with special guest international recording artist Marcel Anderson is going to be the singer. Go check him out. Follow him on social media. You can get some little snippets of his talent and gifts. So him and the whole band are going to be there as the performers. It says the dress code is brunch attire. So you guys get out your brunch attire and following CDC rules. So for those who have any questions, just go to the CDC and you'll see the guidelines. We're following that. If you're vaccinated, obviously you don't have to wear a mask. If you're at your table, then you can take it off, just like at restaurants. But if you're not, wear it in when you sit down at your table, you can take it off. You get a complimentary cocktail made by a glass above, and then the brunch menu will be curated by Chef Carmen. It's going to be over at the West Room, Sunday, July 25th, from 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock p.m. Just reading the flyer. And then you guys could go to couplesjazzbrunch.eventbrite.com and go ahead and get your tickets. I believe Jennifer said that there's still tickets available, but I believe that this could be a great event for couples, especially if you haven't been out, with COVID and all that, to come and know it's going to be a great event planned for you in a great space, very safe. And you can have a great Sunday to share with your friends and family. Get the fire ignited back into your relationship. There is a VIP opportunity available for those of you who want that extra step up. Then there's a VIP package. So you can just contact Date Night by Design at gmail.com and get information on the VIP package. And I think there's only like 1 or 2 spots available for the VIP. So if anybody's interested in that, then just contact Jennifer at datenightbydesign@gmail.com. And I can put that information. Probably if you go to the social media as well, you can reach out to her. All right. So we are excited. Jennifer, is there anything else that you want to share as we wrap up this conversation?
Just thank you again for having me. This has been a excellent platform to come on and share my business as well as the upcoming event. Um, looking forward to the event. So again, couples, grab your tickets. It's going to be an amazing experience, one I know you'll enjoy. And also reach out to me if you're needing some date night planning. Just feel free to reach out. All social media is there. Again, thanks to Kimberly for having me on the platform again. This was exciting to be a part of, and be from behind the curtain, the face to the business.
Yes, awesome. It's been a pleasure to have you. I love the live shows. I love that people get an opportunity to actually see and feel the people that they may see their names across social media, but not know who's the face behind that. And then also to stretch an entrepreneur, because like you said, you hadn't really been on podcasts. So I get to share you with the world for those who are watching, so they can learn a little bit about your company. And I love love. So if we can reignite the fire in many relationships, that would be so great to, be able to say, it's my guest, Jennifer Faulk, that was on the podcast and her company that brought this couple back together, that helped this couple's relationship to get stronger, that ignited this flame in this couple. It would be so great to be able to share that. So glad Jennifer shared this resource. Good morning. Dang, I'm late. We'll watch the replay. Good morning, Teresa. Yes, go back and watch the replay. We have the owner and founder of Date Night by Design, Jennifer Faulk. And so we've been talking about her upcoming event, some of the things that her company offers. And so, yes, go back and watch the replay for sure. So as we wrap up, we want to remind you all to follow Coffee and Collaborations on all social media, to go to our YouTube. If you haven't had an opportunity and you're just joining us for the first time, you can go and watch the replay of all of this season shows. And last season, this is season 4 of Coffee and Collaborations. We started off as Coffee and Collaborations radio show, then became the podcast, and now we're the ultimate fan podcasts under Coffee and Collaborations because we're growing just like everybody else, right? We're expanding. And FAN is an acronym for Friends Accountability Network. And Jennifer Faulk is one of my friends who I help me to help keep me accountable, and I help keep her accountable to our successes. You know, because life can hit you, and you know, something like the pandemic, for instance, can knock you off your feet. So many different things can occur that knock you off your feet, but we need our friends not only to in our network, our business friends, our real friends, you know, to support us to growth, but to help stretch us, right, to another level, to do things new, to grow from each other, to mentor and support each other. So Friends Accountability Network, FAN is an acronym for that. So I'm excited to have introduced to you Jennifer Faulk of Date Night by Design. Make sure you go check her out. And thank you all for joining us this morning on the Ultimate F.A.N Podcast. We will be right back here on next week with another guest. But in the meantime, go to coffeeandcollaborations.com if you're interested in being a sponsor of the show, where we can highlight your business for a nominal fee, not very expensive at all. We can do a commercial, whatever it is you like. We can help even create that commercial if you don't have one. Just reach out to me at info@coffeeandcollaborations.com, me and the team, and or go to the website, coffeeandcollaborations.com, and connect. Okay? You all have an amazing day. Thank you so much once again, Jennifer, for joining me and being my guest today.
Thank you.